All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless me here talking real music in real time for real people just like you, just like me. Um, the fallout continues a little bit from the Eddie Van Halen Grammys debacle, and I've learned some new things, and I thought I would bring those things to your attention. Um, First of all, can we agree that music is in decline? Popular music is in decline. Now, of course, you can look up some video of some pop person and they'll have like a billion views. I'm serious, they'll have a billion or 962 million views or some crazy number. And you'll scratch your head and you think of all the music you grew up with and how that doesn't have 962 million views or whatever. If it's over a million, you're like, look, it's over a million. Just incredible what went on at the Grammys. So the Grammys, they did Eruption. They played Eruption for, I don't know, 15 seconds or something in the middle of 4 complete performances. See, I didn't watch. I didn't know any of this. Wolfgang has weighed in a couple of times, and we learn that he was asked to play Eruption as a tribute to his dad, and he turned it down. Now, I'm thinking that the Grammys said, screw it, you're not going to show up and do this, then it's going to be kind of lame. I understand why Wolfie wouldn't want to try to fill his father's shoes for a couple of reasons. Number one, and I know this is going to be painful to say, but rock is about a lot of things, and unfortunately it is about image in addition to all the other things like knowing how to play, knowing how to sing, knowing how to write songs, being a good business person. All of these things are part of the industry of rock music, which is in precipitous decline right now. You send Wolfie out there, and I guarantee you he's going to get torched on social media. All right. Very few artists have been able to overcome their image issues, especially in recent days. Turn on any television station right now for your morning news, and you're going to see the super hot weather chick, everybody looking trim and in perfect condition for the most part. When news anchors get older, they retire, at a fairly young age because they're probably getting the printouts in the morning saying, oh, well, you could use a younger, better looking person at this particular position in your news crew, and this is what news has become. It's all about image, and it's not about substance. So in the case of Wolfgang, I think he's really a talented dude, but I think he's got an image problem. Let's just put it out there that way. I know few people will probably take this tact that I am taking, but I am just putting it out there because this is what I do. But he's right about a few things here. He says, I couldn't live up to that. And that's 100%. In addition to the image issues, he's not going to be able to play Eruption the way his father played Eruption. It's too much pressure. I'm sure Wolfie would have told everybody, hey, I'm not going to play to a track. I'm going to go out there and actually play it. And that would have been the best way to do it. Maybe you get someone else to do it. The point is, Ed's not here. Ed's not here. You could have had like a Van Halen cast of characters up there to do a song, not just have Eruption, because apparently you had 4 other full performances, not 15 seconds in the middle. You had 4 other performances of people who were lost. This is just ridiculous. Wolfie goes on to say, what hurt the most was that he wasn't even mentioned when they talked about artists we lost in the beginning of the show. I mean, he should have been number 1 on that list. See, this is why I say, first of all, nobody really cares about rock anymore. Now, what's funny is I'm starting to come around to bands like Five Finger Death Punch, even though I don't listen to their music. Do you know why I'm coming around to bands like that? Because it's rock and they are the rock representation right now. And I may not dig their music, but guess what? At this point, you take what you can get. You say, at least they're rock and they're not, whatever this programmed noise that I hear, when I'm sitting at a traffic light. So he says what hurt the most is they didn't even talk about Ed at the beginning of the show. And he says, I know rock isn't the most popular genre right now. It's an understatement. And the Academy does seem a bit out of touch. But I think it's impossible to ignore the legacy my father left on the instrument, the world of rock and music in general. There will never be another innovator like him. Boom, mic drop moment. Wolfgang is correct. So it is kind of tragic, and it is very predictable, the year that we've lived through, and we continue to live through this hologram. I don't know what this is anymore. It feels like a hologram. And anything that's organic and has substance and feels real is no longer acknowledged, appreciated, or even understood. I think that's the real problem here, is people don't even understand Eddie Van Halen. They don't understand his work. They don't understand how someone could pick up a guitar and make it do things that it hadn't done before. The instrument was not used in that way prior to Eddie figuring it out. And the fact that he figured it out in a way that nobody else had figured it out. I mean, there are great guitarists, Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, go down a list. Hendrix is the only one I think who's on par with Ed in a different way. Stevie Ray Vaughan, obviously, super underrated. And there are others. Prince ends up being a really good guitar player. Nobody really talks about him. I don't know. I don't really understand why we're on this road that we're on right now, but it's throughout the culture. It's throughout the arts. It's through everything. It's why older people now are so nostalgic for what once was, even just to get a little piece of that. You hear a band that broke up, or you thought broke up, got back together again with one original guy, and you're like, yeah, it's almost like you're just cheering it because it still exists, and it's a little piece of your past and you're trying to salvage that. But this music, the way it's, and again, I sound like the old guy, just sort of, are you kids today? It's, the music sucks. I'm just gonna say it. And there's nobody coming to replace Edward Van Halen. Nobody's coming. Nobody's on the scene. Maybe somewhere someone's been born, but they probably won't be taught how to play the guitar or learn the guitar. They'll learn how to program a computer to do things. They'll be adequate enough, but come up with some clever rhymes or do something that I don't even understand. I listen to music today, and it's like binary code, zeros and ones. There's no soul to it. It doesn't feel organic. It isn't the kind of music. We came from Beethoven and Bach and all of this stuff, the classical stuff, years and years, centuries ago, and we've evolved to Britney Spears or wherever we're at right now. And that's serious. That's a serious timeline. And I'm not saying there aren't classical orchestras in places, but see, I'm thinking Eddie Van Halen and Mozart and Beethoven. I'm thinking in those terms because he was that important. It's probably why he named his kid Wolfgang, right? Because he knew. He understood music, and he was kind of saying, this guy's name is cool. I want my son to be a Wolfgang, and I think it's cool, even though it's a little weird to say, hey, Wolfgang. And I know everybody shortens it to Wolfie. But in any event, it's just a symptom. these are symptoms of a larger problem that is probably not going to go away. Please subscribe to the channel. If you can remember, hit the bell for notifications. Patreon's just $1 a month. We got new patrons coming on board over there. Don't forget to check out my interview with Graham Goebel, the great Graham Goebel from the Little River Band. It's a 2-part interview. I don't typically plug interviews, but that's some really exclusive content, and I was totally blessed to have a great talk with Graham. He's a gentleman and a scholar, and you should check it out. So that's it. Done. See you soon.